Hey, what is up, Thrift Shop Hustler here. We're going to do a quick video today on what items have sold this week on eBay. We're going to do a quick video pretty much showing some of the highlights and some of the odd little things, and maybe you'll learn a little something about a product that you've never seen before to take a look out before. So my name is Chris. I'm from Southern California. I'm a part-time reseller. I find stuff at thrift stores and garage sales, and I've been doing this for many years. Started out with baseball cards and have done eBay auctions since 1995 and did Yahoo auctions before that. So that's a little bit about me. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate it. We have some new subscribers this week. I really appreciate it. We hit 100 subscribers earlier this week, so I really appreciate all the support. And if you find this video informative, please click the like button and please subscribe. So let's get into it. So this week was kind of slow for the most part, but picked up later in the week. Monday was very slow. So let's pretty much go over all this stuff, and I'll go into as much detail as possible. Right here we have a Nike's ladies heart monitor. I picked this up at a local thrift shop for $5, and to me it was all complete when I saw it, so it was actually a pretty good pickup. These things go brand new for like $50 or $60. So I actually listed this very higher and had it for a few months, so I kept dropping the price. Finally sold for $29.99. And with these, you have to check the batteries in the back of the watch to make sure there's no corrosion or anything. Luckily for me, this thing was pretty much brand new. Even the plastic was on the cover of the watch still. I tested it out. It works. This thing I had to like wrap around my chest, and it kind of like monitors your heart rate and everything. So all that worked. What was cool about this one is it actually came with the CD and the manual. And I was hoping to get more than $30 for this because they go for a lot more, but I was happy to take $29.99, especially from a $5 purchase. So always keep a lookout for any Nike kind of items like this. And make sure you test them out, because sometimes these things don't work. Oh, next is this interactive Blackberry pager. This was actually a really cool find. I actually found two of these at a estate sale, and I think I showed this in an earlier video, so go check that out. The cost on this was $6, and I had no idea what it was, to be honest. I saw it in any old hardware that I find that is sealed and it's at a reasonable price, I'm gonna pick it up. I found something earlier this year that was $1, and I ended up selling it for 150. It was like a modem or something. It was an older modem, but see, that's what I'm saying. This stuff's out there. I didn't sell this for $599. I wish I would have got that much for this because it's super rare. I found out that this was actually one of the first Blackberries that came out in 2001. There's a model that was before this, but this was actually the first interactive one where it was like almost like it's self-contained. The very first Blackberry kind of like looked like a little tiny laptop. So anyways, I bought these for $6. They wanted actually $15 each for these, but since I didn't know what they were and there was no comps anywhere, see, that's how rare this was. There was no comps, there was no photos online, nothing. Even when I scanned this barcode, like nothing came up. So I asked them if they want to do 6 because I had no idea what it was, and sure enough, they said 6 on both. So I picked these up. I took a best offer for this one for $170 for someone that was in state, and these are actually super collectible. I found out a loose one of these went for like $200 a few months ago. These are very rare to find, and sometimes you'll find these like in garage sales because people they think of old technology and they just want to give it away. They had no idea, that this was something. I have another one up. I bought 2 and I'm hoping to get a little bit more than 170 for the next one. I'm actually going to hold out on that one for the long haul. So this was actually a really cool find. It's actually kind of like a museum piece for technology, because this is literally one of the first Blackberries, and it's sealed and it came in a bundle. So this was amazing, awesome find. So next we have this Nintendo Wii Console. I've been saving these games for the last few months. I pick them up for $1 or $2 each, and I'll put them in a box, and then eventually once the numbers get high, I'll just bundle it all up and put it together. This is actually a complete Wii set. It actually comes with this older controller. I forget what this was called. It's called a classic controller, and it was clean. I had to do a little bit of cleanup. This was actually a find that from a couple videos ago. If you guys saw that, I purchased a bag full of electronics for $80, and a lot of these games are actually in there. And so this was actually a good find. This was 24 games. Like I said, I've been saving these and putting them to the side. You can actually find Wii games for a pretty good price these days. Collectors really haven't hit the market on these. There's some rare ones, but these are pretty much all like your average sports games. And pretty much I bundled this up as like a kids lot. This one I took a best offer for $150 because I pretty much just wanted to clear this out. I'm gonna make a video about the Wii system because I know that I see these a lot more than anything else I see. So I want to do a video on like all the things you need to look for to make sure that this is complete, because I know a lot of you sell clothes and other things and you're not familiar with games. So we'll just actually take a quick little run through this. So like you're gonna have the system, you're gonna have the power, you're gonna have the AV controllers, the audio visuals. You're gonna sometimes they'll come with these remotes, these ones down here, these long ones that look like bricks, and sometimes they won't. And then these things are like nunchucks, they plug into these little ones. And then this was a bonus one. This is actually a separate thing. And there's actually a light bar that's not shown here, so this is probably not a good example, but this is pretty much a complete thing. You want to check the battery compartments for these controllers. Let's see if I got a photo of the controllers anywhere. You want to check the battery compartments because people are notorious for leaving the batteries inside these and they'll corrode. And usually you just open them up, you pop them out, throw the batteries away or dispose of them in a recycling place, and you can just clean it up with like a Q-tip and some Windex is usually what I do. And usually it cleans it right up. Usually corrosion on these things aren't too crazy. So just a very basic cleanup. And I even have like a little micro vacuum cleaner that I'll like vacuum the inside of it once I clean it out to get all the little particles out and stuff. So this one also, Nintendo Wii's are going to come like this. And hopefully you see these two flaps right here where the controllers, these are GameCube controller plugs. And you'll find most always that these two flaps are going to be broken off. So this one actually is really cool that it didn't have the flaps broken off, so always be aware of that. You could purchase aftermarket flaps from China for like $3, $2.50 shipped to replace these. They're not going to be official flaps, but they're going to be pretty close. Something to just if you buy that, just make a note of it in your auction. Also, another thing to look for when you're selling Wii or buying Wii systems is this flap that's in the front. This little area is a slot for an SD card, and because you can pretty much download old Nintendo games and things from the virtual console, and people will store them on these little SD drives, and sometimes you can buy one of these and it'll be just filled with games, so it's actually kind of a bonus thing. I haven't found one of those in a long time because usually people are smart enough to take their SD cards out because it has all their saved information and stuff like that. And so be on the lookout for that. Sometimes this flap is broken too, but usually you're going to find these flaps broken. So this one actually took a best offer for $150 for this bundle. Was actually a pretty good deal for this and pretty much a bunch of these kids games. So look out for Wii. Here we have some silver Xbox 360 controllers. These ones actually came from that bag lot of that I purchased for $80. I cleaned these up. They were a little dirty, but once I cleaned them up, they cleaned up very, very well. There was no corrosion in the battery packs. And what sometimes you'll find two different versions of this as far as the battery packs. This one is like a NiCad, where it's like a self-contained battery. But sometimes they sell these that have like AA batteries in these, so you got to watch out because there's some corrosion in these sometimes. I happened to luck out, and these ones had zero corrosion in them, so that was a pretty good find. I think I was in like maybe like $2 each on these, so I bundled them up. They actually came with their wired connections that you can actually plug it in to the top here and charge it that way. And I cleaned these up, bundled them up all nice, took a photo. They sold for $39.95 with free shipping. And actually, I found out that these are actually special edition ones. So that these silver ones are special edition ones. I guess they come with like black. They have a black one and a white one. So that was cool too. Next up, we have a Wii game, Mario Sports Mix. Wii games, you can find a ton of these everywhere, and there's only like a small percentage of them that are actually worth more than $10. So when you're out and about, you can just scan them in the Amazon app, and you can see the different prices. And this one sold for $27.95, and it was complete, and the disc was pretty good. So with Nintendo games, you have to make sure that, or with Wii games, you have to make sure it has the instructions and the disc, and look at the disc. The disc is what usually people care about the condition when you mark a condition. I marked this one like new because there was 0 scratches on the disc, and the box was like super clean. You have to do the item condition true to what it is, and basically disclose anything that you think could be an issue. I test all my games, so I have a Wii system, and all the games that I get in, I'll pop them in, I'll play them for a minute just to make sure that they load. Because you'll notice with Wii games, some of them won't even load from the get-go, and that usually is because there is scratches on the discs, and you could send them in to certain places to get refurbished if you have a really expensive game. And I think it costs like $3 a disc, so it's worth it if you have like a $40 or $50 game. So that sold for $27.95 with free shipping. Next up is this Riflescope. I purchased this with a lot of 2 of them, so there was this one and another one. I got it for $40. I paid a little up on this, but this stuff was brand new, mint condition. I sold the first one for $40 plus shipping. So basically, if I sold the second one, it was going to be pure profit. This one, I think I took a best offer for $45 plus shipping because I just wanted to get rid of it because it was sitting around for a while. I just wanted to move the product. This thing was actually super mint, and it was hard to find comps on this because it's an older scope, but it was in pretty much like mint condition except for having, like this Velcro on these covers, and they were just covers, so the actual thing was pretty good. With scopes, you want to look at the lenses to make sure they're not scratched or anything. And also, if these things get banged around, the internal mechanisms and stuff could get screwed up. So just sell these as is with a return policy, of course. And so yeah, this was a good pickup. This one was all pure profit basically, so that was a nice one. Look out for scopes if you can get them for a relative price. Up next, we have these 14-hole Doc Martens. These ones were sold for a family member and sold for $89.99 with free shipping. These ones actually fit nicely in a large flat rate box, so that was cool. And of course, I wrapped them up because these things are like in super nice condition. I think you probably could have got more for this because I think these ones retail for like $150, $160. And package these up really nice and ship them off. And I don't do or usually clothing or boots too much, but always look out for Doc Martens, especially if the price is right and they're in good condition. Because even I think you can even probably sell ones that are in messed up condition, because I think people like refurbish them and stuff. So take a look out for that. Next up, we have this Fitbit. I actually showed a video, my last video on the Los Angeles bins. I picked this up for $10, sold for $32.99 the same day. I think like I sold it like within an hour of listing it. So this was a good flip. I went over there and I was actually going to purchase some other stuff, but just kind of put it down. I've been learning like pretty much recently on this other stuff what to buy and what not to. And over the years, you'll just learn that eventually, what things are worth buying and putting your money in, because I don't want to have money in stuff that's just sitting for a year before it sells. So this one actually sold really fast. And so these are pretty much all the highlights. Lastly, we have this Greg Maddux autographed 8x10. I've had this sitting around for years. I got this signed at I think a card show like super long ago before he retired. So I was just like, you know what? I have some of these older signed 8x10, so I might as well sell them. This one sold for $55.99 with shipping. This one shipped really nice in a medium flat rate box. And that is that. So these are pretty much the highlights. I sold a lot of other things. I sell mostly collectibles and toys and video games. There was a lot of $10 items and stuff like that. These were kind of like the highlights that I had for this week. Also sold my first merch shirt this week, which is was super cool. So that's awesome. I think I might do a merch video maybe tomorrow or this weekend at some point to show you guys what the status is on that, because I just started that. So if you like this video, please click the subscribe button. We'll be doing this at least once a week. I also had Amazon sales, but I don't know about showing that kind of stuff, because I saw a lot of private label and a lot of stuff that no one would probably be interested in, a lot of cards and things like that. So if you want to see that, just leave a comment below and I'll consider making, you know, an Amazon selling video. This was all the stuff that was sold on eBay this week, or at least all the highlights. Had a slow week, picked up obviously towards the end of the week, which was nice. So click the like button if you liked the video. Please subscribe. I want to thank all the new subscribers. We just also hit 500 followers on Instagram. I really appreciate that. A link is below. And check out my social media feeds. All those links are also below. And I think I have a merch link too down below, so you can see like the different kind of shirts that I have for sale, because I just started that. And we'll be doing an update video on that pretty soon. So I want to thank everyone for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a good one.